Hey there. So many people know the story of David and Goliath, right? David, with upright confidence in the Lord, grabs a stone, slings it at this giant's head, and defeats him, right? It's like a pretty big deal. It's a very commonly known Old Testament story, but there's some interesting things that I found whenever I was last reading the story of David and Goliath. In preparation to go and fight Goliath, in verse 40, it says he took his staff and picked out 5 smooth stones from the stream. So he's going to fight one dude, and he picks out 5 stones. And when I first read this, I was like, maybe he thought it was in case he missed. But then later he talks about like how much confidence he has in this battle. In 1 Samuel 17:45 through 47, he talks about how he comes against Goliath in the name of the Lord, and that the Lord will deliver Goliath into David's hands, and like he's going to cut off his head and all that. So I just was like, that's interesting. Why would he pick out 5 stones to go fight one guy? And I think I found the answer. Goliath had 4 brothers. So in Joshua 13:3, it's talking about how the Philistine people became a group, and it said, this area belonged to the 5 Philistine lords who ruled in Gaza, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron. So you might recognize the place Gath whenever reading the story of David and Goliath, because it says that in chapter 17 verse 4, it says, when a champion came out from the camp of the Philistines, his name was Goliath. He was the champion from Gath. So he was one of the champions from Gath, and there were 4 other nations, and in this time, like, a lot of wars were fought by like representation. So one dude would fight another dude, and whoever won, basically that side won the war. And then even more interesting is in 2 Samuel verse 22, it says, David's brother Shema killed him. These 4 were the descendants of Rapha who lived in Gath. So you have 4 descendants of Rapha who lived in Gath. And scholars collectively agree that Rapha was also Goliath's dad. So Goliath had 4 brothers. So it was Goliath and his 4 other brothers. So David didn't just think he was going to go 1 for 1 fighting Goliath. He thought he was going to go 5 for 5 for all of Goliath's brothers. He didn't pick up 5 stones out of thinking he would need them. He picked up 5 stones knowing that's all he would need.